Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Wilmot Rec Complex in New Hamburg, Ontario, for the first of two semifinal matchups as the Stratford Warriors take on the Porcupine Gold Kings here on this Sunday morning. A very happy Easter to everybody. My name is Dylan Baker with 519 Sports. We've been thrilled to bring you the action all weekend long. We will continue to do so today. Semifinal number one right now, 8 a.m. puck drop. Semifinal number two at 10 a.m. And then the finals at 3 o'clock between the winner of Stratford and Porcupine and the winner of St. Thomas, New Hamburg at 10 o'clock. It should be a fun day of hockey, and we're glad to have you along for the ride. These two teams had a matchup in yesterday's round-robin action. It was Stratford's third round-robin game and Porcupine's last round-robin game. It was a dominant 4-1 Stratford victory. They outshot Porcupine 44-14. Now, the caveats with that was Porcupine's second game of the day and Stratford's first game of the day. Starting in goal in that contest for the Porcupine Gold Kings was Owen Bourgoin. That came after Mason Dix was able to come away with a victory against the St. Thomas Junior Stars earlier in the morning in what was a bit of an upset in that game. So it'll be interesting to see whether Porcupine turns to Dix or turns to Bourgoin for this pivotal semifinal matchup. In that contest, Stratford really had control from minute 1 through to minute 45. They never let up, never took their foot off the gas pedal. And for Porcupine, they're hoping that this journey was worthwhile and that they can prolong it just a little bit longer and get a spot in the finals today at 3 o'clock. It should be an exciting matchup between these two teams who have gotten to know each other pretty well after yesterday. It was a relatively quiet matchup physically yesterday between Stratford and Porcupine. Things did not get out of hand, but we'll see how things progress as the intensity ratchets up a notch in a semifinal tilt, trying to clinch a spot in the OHF finals later today at 3 o'clock here in New Hamburg. Stratford in their round-robin slate lost to St. Thomas in their opening game on a last-minute game-winning goal by a score of 5-4. Then they lost to New Hamburg by a score of 4-1. So it was an 0-2 day one of the round-robin for the Warriors. Day two, though, much more successful. There was that 4-1 win over the Porcupine Gold Kings that I mentioned, and a 3-0 shutout victory over Hearst yesterday night. For Porcupine, they beat New Hamburg in their opening game, 2 5-on-3 penalty kills in that matchup, a 5-1 win, then a 1-0 loss against Hearst, a 3-1 win against St. Thomas, and a 4-1 loss to Stratford as we send it down to ice level for the interpretation of the national anthem. Beautiful rendition of the national anthem as we are set for action here in the semifinals between the Stratford Junior Warriors and the Porcupine Gold Kings. Stratford starting in goal with Colton Thompson. He had a shutout last night and beat Porcupine 4-1 earlier in the day. On the back end, it'll be Nathan Sieber paired up with Jacob Curtin. Up front, Colin Schultz, Rylan DeBoek, and Charles Holloway getting the start. For Porcupine, it's Mason Dix between the pipes. He did not play against Stratford in the 4-1 loss yesterday. Cohen Montrose, Carter Mayers on the back end, Joey Labranche, Ashton Morin, and Chasen Janiuk up front. Semi-final action underway here in New Hamburg. Stratford and Porcupine. Schultz wins the opening face-off, and Siebert plays it in deep for Stratford. After it goes Ashton Morin. Schultz back on it. Schultz tries to center, unable to find his intended recipient. Joey Lebranche back with possession of the puck. Lebranche gets it up to Janiak. Janiak looking for Morin, couldn't find him. Now Schultz. Schultz the other way, deflected by Ryland DeBoek. DeBoek gets in over the blue line. He takes a hit from Carter Mayers, but he's offside. And so we get our first stoppage of this one, 24 seconds in to the first period. It'll be interesting to see if Porcupine comes out with a little bit more energy than they had in their game yesterday against Stratford, simply because it's their first game of the day today. First game of the day for both teams, and it was not the case yesterday when Stratford played their first game against Porcupine, who was in their second. Off the face-off, Litt gets tied up. Stratford able to bring it into the offensive zone. It'll be chased after in the corner by Hudson Gordon. Gordon tries to center for Barassa, couldn't find him. Now on the far side, it's Hunt. Owen Hunt goes into the corner, loses possession of the puck. Back on it is Gordon. Gordon around the net. It's loose down low. Chasing after it there, Cohen Montrose. It'll come back onto the stick of Evan Laue. Laue skates it through to center, loses possession. Back in Hodgson. Hodgson down the far side. He takes a shot from a sharp angle, and the save is made by Mason Dix, who will hold on for a whistle. Dix was in goal for both of Porcupine's wins. He beat New Hamburg in their opening game of the round robin and beat St. Thomas yesterday morning as well. It'll be Cameron Sutherland in for the face-off for Porcupine. He wins the draw against Dawson White. It'll be flipped up by Mayers, up to the blue line and just squeaks out. Back on it, Nathan Siebert. Siebert fires it in on goal. Dix turns it away. Back after it now, Mayers. Mayers tries to chip it off the wall. It'll come out to neutral ice. Dumped back in by Dawson White. Now in the corner. Sent down the ice there by Lavoie. And over to retrieve it is Cameron Parsons. Parsons goes around the wall looking for Siebert. Back on it out at center. White looking for it. It'll come back into the Stratford and Parsons. Parsons plays it out to neutral ice for Dylan Abel. Abel tries to corral possession. Couldn't quite get there. It'll be swung back into the Stratford end. Here's Siebert. Player of the game in last night's round robin finale. Siebert with possession. Skates through neutral ice. Bobbling the puck just a little bit. Gets over the blue line. Now into the corner. Siebert stops up, backhand pass to the slot. White couldn't get a shot off. It'll be sent back out to center by Porcupine. After it there was Kalen Sardino. It'll come back now into the Porcupine end for Caleb Lavoie. Lavoie flips it up ahead for Sutherland. Blake Hodgson back with it. Hodgson fires it into the corner. It just stays below the netting and will be played now by Mayers. Mayers facing pressure there from Stratford and Finley Newton. Here's a quick shot, stopped by Dix. Rebound stopped as well on the Newton chance. Sutherland tries to clear the zone, held up at the line. Hodgson looking for it, pressure coming from Griffin Boucher. Porcupine able to send it down the ice, and that'll be icing. So the face-off will come all the way back to the Gold Kings end. Draw will go to the left of Dix. Stratford sends out its top line. Porcupine counters with the same. Lebranche fires it out to center. Chasing Janiak after it. Janiak loses possession. Hodgson plays it back ahead. Stratford trying to get into the offensive zone. The pass never got to Holloway as Cohen Montrose fires it back in deep. Hodgson and Morin back after it. Hodgson on it. Plays it around the wall. Looking for it there is Cohen Montrose. Montrose tries to play it down low. Janiak centers, loose puck in the slot. Lebranche can't find it. It'll be taken back by Stratford and Schultz. Colin Schultz plays it back around the wall for Blake Hodgson. Hodgson skates ahead for the Warriors. Hodgson over the red line, chips it in deep. Back after it there is Schultz. Weir in there as well. Hunter Weir trying to gain possession of the puck. Ryland DeBoek goes after it. DeBoek now for Schultz. He gets hit hard. The net comes off, and we'll get a whistle. Schultz was cutting to the net but took a big hit, and it prevented the chance. So good physicality there from Porcupine, keeping Stratford away from the goal. Shots right now 4-0 in favor of the Warriors. Jesse Little line up for the face-off. He'll be matched up with Caden Barassa. Face-off won by Barassa and Stratford. Sharp angle shot stopped by Dix. It'll come back up towards the blue line and be sent out to center. Spencer Johnston takes a big hit there from Barassa as the puck will go down low. Curtin plays it around the wall. Goodhue tried to chip it out to center. He'll do so successfully. Mayers across ice pass. Looking for it there was Hudson Gordon. Gordon throws it in on goal. Dix turns it away. Goes to Mayers. Mayers sidesteps the pressure. Mayers flips it high in the air out to center ice. Giving chase there, Evan Lowe. Curtin trying to force it by. Curtin plays into the Porcupine end. It'll be poked up ahead there by Rimmer, but not out. After it was Gordon. Gordon lost possession of the puck. Litz sends it out to center. Now it's out of the stick of the captain, Siebert. Siebert sends it to Curtin. Curtin now out of the blade of Caden Barassa. Barassa over the blue line, loses possession of the puck. Rimmer tries to play it off the wall. Johnston tied up. In there, Westerhoff. And we get a whistle, a penalty coming up here on the play. Head contact, the call. And it'll be Porcupine getting the game's first power play as Caden Barassa heads to the penalty box. So 4:22 into the first period. It'll be a double minor for head contact on Caden Barassa. And a huge opportunity for Porcupine. Still without a shot in this game. They've got a 4-minute man advantage off the face-off. Puck will be played by Hunt in the corner. He tries to tie it up. Griffin Boucher chasing Janiak, working away at it. Janiak knocks it loose. He goes down. Fans on the Porcupine side wanted a tripping penalty, but the officials disagreed. Back on it, Mayers. Mayers starts to rush up ice. Mayers over the blue line. Mayers skating into the corner. Mayers going around the net, bobbles the puck, trying to gain possession once again. Looks to play it up to the line. It'll be taken back by his Gold Kings teammate Janiak, who loses the puck, and now it'll be cleared down the ice by Stratford yet again. So Dix leaves for Sutherland. Sutherland scored on the power play, his first of the tournament in the game against Stratford. That was the lone goal for Porcupine as Labranche feeds it to Morin. Morin lost the puck at the blue line, and Porcupine comes in offside, so we get a stoppage. So 3:08 remains in this power play for the Gold Kings. Still without a shot, not only on the power play, but in the game. Labranche, Laue, Morin in there for Porcupine. DeBoek and Newton, the forwards for Stratford. Off the face-off, Curtin plays it to Siebert. Siebert clears it down the ice. First minute gone to the man advantage. Sutherland picks it back up from his own end. Sutherland sends a pass over to Jesse Litt. Litt looking for an option, finds Sutherland. Sutherland curls back at his own end. Cameron Sutherland through center, over the blue line. Sutherland going into the corner, skates around the net. Cameron Sutherland looking for an option, feeds it up to the line for Litt. Litt back to Sutherland. Sutherland makes a move, couldn't sidestep Siebert, and Newton clears it. It'll come back down the ice, 2:30 to go in the power play. Here's Litt. Litt gets around Newton, skates through center. Litt over the blue line. Litt stops up, bobbles the puck, trying to get a pass away. It'll be sent in the direction of Morin. Now DeBoa clears it down the ice. 2 minutes remaining in the power play. Dix finds Sutherland with a pass. Sutherland goes around the wall for Joey Labranche. Labranche out to center Morin. Ashton Morin over the blue line. Looking for an option. Drops it back to Sutherland. Good pressure from Holloway. Holloway can't get it out. Porcupine with it. Morin throws it on goal. Turned away by Thompson. On it is Hodgson. Hodgson sends it around the boards. Griffin Boucher with it. Boucher battles with Hodgson. Nice move by Boucher. Boucher up to Morin. He goes up to the line for Sutherland. They exchange passes. Morin walks in. Back up top for Sutherland. Sutherland, a shot saved by Thompson. Here's Morin in the corner. 1:30 left of the power play. It'll come to Joey Labranche. Labranche had 2 goals in the tournament opening win for Porcupine. Sutherland's shot is blocked. It'll come out to center. Racing after it, Dawson White shorthanded. White goes into the corner all on his own. Tries to sidestep Boucher. Couldn't do it. Boucher skates ahead. Griffin Boucher gets in to the blue line, just offside, and we get a whistle. So neutral zone draw here, nearing the halfway mark of the first period. 1:03 left of the power play for Porcupine. Face-off won by Keene. It'll be fired down the ice by Siebert. Mason Dix comes out of the crease. Sutherland now on it. Sutherland sends a pass. It'll be chipped through to center. Jesse Litt over the blue line. Litt goes into the corner. He'll stop up. Checked by Curtin. Comes up to the line. Sutherland looking for it. He bobbles it at the blue line, and it'll squeak out to center. Back on it, Boucher. Boucher's pass out the skate of Keene. Curtin tries to clear, and he will. 30 seconds left in the Porcupine power play. Chasing Janiak. Janiak gets cut off there by Taden Michael, and he'll send it down the ice. Mason Dix leaves for Carter Mayers. Mayers sends a pass up to Sutherland. Cameron Sutherland bobbles the puck, gets in over the blue line. Sutherland into the corner. Sutherland stops up, goes cross ice, deflected by LeBranche. Here's Morin. Morin up to the line for Mayers. Dying seconds, the power play. Mayers takes a shot. That one blocked. It's out to center. Barraza fresh out of the penalty box. Barraza in the corner, taking a shot. Stopped by Dix. Tries a wraparound. It's loose in the crease. He scores! Stratford gets on the board first. Fresh out of the box and out of the score sheet. Caden Barraza finds the back of the net. The shot from Mayers got blocked. It went out to center. Barraza denied on the initial chance, but wrapped it around and tucked it home on the backhand to give Stratford a 1-0 lead in this game. The pressure was on Mayers to shoot the puck. He knew he was in the final seconds of his power play. Took a shot that got blocked by Dawson White. Went all the way down the ice, and Barraza able to capitalize to give Stratford the lead. It'll be Litt matched up with Schultz here for the face-off. After the opening goal of this contest, draw one by Porcupine. Laue sends it in. Here's Hodgson. Hodgson plays it in deep. Litt goes after it, tied up with Schultz. Looking for it there was Cohen Montrose. It'll come back around the wall. Now Litt. Litt loses possession of the puck. Played back in by Holloway. Holloway goes cross ice. Here's a nice move by Schultz, but couldn't get a shot off. Now back in the corner. Handled there by Cohen Montrose. Off the wall, it'll come out to center. Hodgson couldn't quite corral the puck. It'll be back onto the stick of Hunt. Owen Hunt sends a pass to Blake Hodgson. Hodgson all the way down the ice, deflected by Montrose, so there won't be icing on the play. Banked off the boards by Lavoie, turned over, and Schultz gets up by Dix, a great pass save. Back the other way, Holloway takes a hit. It'll be forced over the blue line by Montrose. He loses the puck. Hodgson off the wall, Holloway. Holloway fires it into the corner. After it, Lavoie. Caleb Lavoie sends a pass. It'll be Evan Laue dumping it down the ice, and that'll be icing. So the draw will come back into the Porcupine end. Shots 9-2 right now in favor of Stratford. They lead at 1-0. Off the face-off. It'll be played by Porcupine in the defensive zone. Hunter Weir goes off the glass. It'll come up to the blue line. Stratford able to hold. Back after it, Barraza. Caden Barraza sends a pass. It's cut by Cameron Sutherland. Sutherland goes around the net. Sutherland plays it all the way down the ice. And that'll go for icing yet again on Porcupine. Draw will go to the right here of Dix. It'll be White matched up with Sutherland. Face off won by White. It'll come back up the blue line. Siebert a shot. That one stopped by Dix, and he'll hold on. Face off, won by White. It'll come in the direction of Abel. White goes around the wall. Weir left it there. Abel, first man back on it. Dylan Abel drops it back down into the corner. Backhanded by Westerhoff towards the goal. Just missed his intended recipient. It'll come back to Abel. Abel plays out on the backhand. Stick handling in the corner. Goes to Westerhoff down low. Michael Westerhoff back up to the blue line. Siebert. Siebert makes a move. Siebert skates in. Pass out front for White in the slot. It gets cut by Weir. Back the other way comes Porcupine. It's Johnston trying to spring Sutherland. Pass just bounced off his stick. Siebert takes Sutherland into the corner. Now after it, Johnston. Johnston loses possession of the puck. Siebert back with it. Nathan Siebert skates through center. Siebert plays it down the ice and around the wall. Westerhoff. Sutherland sends a pass up in the direction of Rimmer. Didn't get to him. Now Abel heading the other way. Abel a chance, just goes wide. Boucher plays it back out to center. Here's Blake Hodgson. Fires it in on goal. It's gloved by Dix, and he'll go to Weir. Hunter Weir starts the rush up ice. It'll be turned over at the blue line and held there by Taden Michael momentarily before Porcupine gets it out to center. Boucher tries to find Morin. Instead, it'll come back to Weir. Weir back for Griffin Boucher. Boucher looking for Morin, didn't get to him. Here's Michael over the blue line. Taden Michael a shot, that one blocked away by Dix. Now back on it, Keane. Keane up to the line for Hunt. Tipped on goal, save made by Dix. Puck is loose on the rebound. Michael now for Newton, tried to center for Keane. It'll be flipped down the ice. 3 minutes to go in the first period as Michael deflects it down. Back after it, Mayers and Morin. Morin sends it around the wall. It'll be taken back by Lavoie. Lavoie pass, it gets cut. Sent back to Michael. Taden Michael with space. That shot blocked. Newton on the rebound. Big pad save by Mason Dix. Now a backhand shot. A chance down low. And they score. Stratford's up 2 late in the first period. A rebound collected and buried by Jordan Keane. So the Warriors up by a pair here with 2:42 to play in the first period. Jordan Keane finds the back of the net. Shots are 15-2 for Stratford right now. Draw won by the Warriors. Siebert plays it up the wall, hits off the official. It'll come back to Lavoie. Lavoie turns it over. Holloway skating in. Chance down low. DeBoek couldn't get a shot off. DeBoek back around the boards, cut by Joey LaBranche. DeBoek tries to get it to Schultz. Schultz stick handles. Schultz tries to center. DeBoek couldn't get a shot off. Banked off the boards to the line by Janiak. Tipped out front. DeBoek just put it high. Back on it is Lavoie down there. It'll be taken back now by Schultz. He spins and fires. Just misses the net. Siebert at the line. Siebert puts it into the corner. Back after it there was Holloway. Never got to him. Schultz takes a hard hit in the corner from Caleb Lavoie. Now back through center, Janiak. Janiak fires a shot on goal. It gets stopped by Thompson, and he'll hold on for a whistle. As Schultz getting into it with Janiak down low. Under 2 minutes to play in this first period. 2-0 Warriors. Caden Barassa, Jordan Keane, the goal scorers. Jesse Litt will match up for the face-off with the aforementioned Barassa. Off the draw, Barassa the win quickly in there, though Laue, he couldn't get a shot off. Hodgson got his stick in the lane. Laue tries to center. It hits off the skate of Curtin. Correction, that was not Curtin. That was Hudson Gordon, excuse me, who was able to get it out to center. Puck is tied up in the neutral zone, and play is whistled by the officials as Montrose had it jammed up against the wall. Barassa against Litt. Face off. Won by Porcupine. Back the other way goes Saudino. Kalen Saudino after it in the corner. Sardino takes a hit from Gordon. Sardino tied up along the wall. Gordon chips it off the boards. Back at the line, it's held there by Rimmer. Rimmer sends it around the wall. Hodgson off the glass, up at the blue line. Goodhue looking for it. It'll be handled by Montrose. Montrose takes a hit. Last minute of the first period. Goodhue back up at the line, held by Litt. Litt around the wall, here's Laue. Laue hits Hunt. Hunt plays it ahead to Barassa. Caden Barassa chips it by his man. Barassa skates in, it's offside as his shot misses the net, and he takes a big hit from Montrose in the corner. .1 on the clock here in this first period. 2-0 the score in favor of Stratford. Drow will come back to right in front of the Stratford bench. Face off. Tied up. Taken by Porcupine, sent in deep by Morin. After it, Siebert. Siebert off the wall, deflected down the ice. Racing after it, Rimmer and Montrose. Good pressure from Dawson White. White able to work it free. It's Schultz with it. Schultz takes a shot. Pad save Dix. Puck's loose on the rebound. Schultz a chance. Just put it wide. Schultz back up top. Siebert a shot. Stopped by Dix. Rebound loose again. Schultz tries to slap it around the wall. After it to Bowick. Now Morin there. Final 5 seconds of the period. It's jammed up along the boards, and we get a whistle with 3 seconds left. Stratford outshooting Porcupine 18-3 right now. Draw will go to the right of Dix here. Off the face-off, won by Porcupine and Sutherland. It'll be fired down the ice, and that'll do it for this first period. So 15 minutes in the books here in New Hamburg, and 2-0 the score in favor of the Stratford Warriors. Caden Barassa took a double minor for head contact in that period. Sat in the box for 4 minutes. Stratford killed it off. Barassa got out of the box, and after a block shot by Dawson White, the puck went down the ice. Barassa got stopped on his initial chance, wrapped it around, jammed it home on the backhand to beat Mason Dix and give Stratford a 1-0 lead. A little bit later on, it was a loose puck in the crease, and it was Jordan Keane who found the back of the net for the Warriors to make it a 2-0 Stratford lead after the first 15 minutes of play. 2 periods left to go in the first semifinal matchup here in New Hamburg. Stay with us. You're watching the U18 Single A OHF Championship live on 519 Sports. Back now on 519 Sports here for the second period between the Stratford Warriors and the Porcupine Gold Kings in the semifinals of the OHF U18 Single A Championships. Glad to have you along with us watching live on YouTube, wherever you may be tuning in from. My name is Dylan Baker. 2-0 Stratford after the first period of play. Caden Barassa had the opening goal out of the penalty box, able to wrap it around, find the back of the net to give Stratford a 1-0 lead. Then a little bit later on in the period, it was Jordan Keene who found a loose puck on the rebound and was able to bury it to make it a 2-0 Stratford lead, and that is where we sit after 15 minutes of play. Ashton Morin, Colin Schultz glide in for the face-offs here. A discussion as Schultz slid in a little bit quickly. And some direction from the official. Puck is dropped and we're underway for the second period. Rylan DeBoek gets over the blue line. DeBoek goes into the corner. It'll be taken back by Mayers. Mayers off the wall. Now Schultz a slap shot. Saved by Dix a little bit awkwardly down low. It'll come back. Schultz to the backhand. Oh, DeBoek just put it high. DeBoek tries to center. Hits off the side of the goal. Here's Holloway. Holloway centers. Now it'll be taken back by Janiak. Janiak tried to send it down the ice, or tried to send a pass. Instead, it went down the ice. Here's Curtin. Back around the wall. Now to neutralize Mayers. Puck will be played by DeBoek. Siebert looking for it, now taken back by Holloway. He comes in with numbers. Here's Schultz, rips the shot, he scores! Colin Schultz, what a shot! And it's 3-0 Stratford as they take control 49 seconds into the second. It's the fourth of the tournament for Colin Schultz. Walked in over the blue line on a 2-on-1 and wired it home to make it 3-0 Warriors. Off the face-off, controlled by Stratford. It'll be sent back in by Caden Barassa. Barassa around the wall. Now Goodhue. Goodhue back to Barassa. Barassa centers for Gordon. His shot just goes wide. Now back after it is Cohen Montrose. Montrose loses the puck. A quick shot deflected. It'll go up and over the glass, out of play. Shots 20-3 right now in favor of Stratford. Draw will go to the left of the goaltender, Mason Dix here. Barassa will line up for the draw with Litt. Off the face-off. Puck will come back to Hodgson. Hodgson plays it back down low. Goodhue, chance at the doorstep for Gordon, couldn't bury it. It'll be flipped out to center. Hunt knocked it down. It'll be taken back by Porcupine and Wright. A pass from LaBranche towards Wright that got blocked. Goodhue takes a hit at center from Montrose as the puck will go down the ice, and that'll be icing. A conversation right now between Gordon and the officials. I believe Gordon was the one who got hit as he tried to play it down the ice. So he is suggesting that the icing should have been waved off as a result. Off the face-off, it'll be won by Stratford. Now played off the boards out to center. And down the ice. Icing once again on the Warriors. Face-off will go to the left of Thompson. Draw one by Stratford. Back on it is Hunt. Hunt plays it up the boards. Trying to get it out to center. Hunt plays it up ahead to White. Now it'll be taken back by Porcupine and Weir. Dumped back in by White. Around the wall. Centering pass from Abel. Blocked by Litt. It'll come out to the neutral zone. Here's Joey LaBranche. LaBranche over the blue line looking for Griffin Boucher. It'll be swiped off his stick. Rivers' dump in was blocked by Abel. Now Westerhoff sends it into the corner. It'll be taken back by Weir. Hunter Weir, below the goal line. Slaps it around the wall. Boucher after it. It'll come back into the Stratford end. White regroups from his own zone. Dawson White skates ahead. White fires it in deep. It'll trickle in on goal. Mason Dix will play it and send it over to Weir. Weir back around the wall to Joey Labranche. Labranche tries to send it down the ice. Instead, it gets turned back. Back on it now is Sam Rimmer. Rimmer fires it through center. Bouncing puck, knocked down. Keane back ahead in the direction of Tate and Michael. Labranche back in over the blue line of the chance here, and it's offside at the Stratford line. Great opportunity off the rush for Porcupine there, but just offside. Just under 3 minutes gone here in the second period. Face-off won by Stratford. It'll be banked off the boards by Cameron Parsons. Now after it is Keane. It's out of the stick of Lavoie. Caleb Lavoie back around the boards. Up at the line, Siebert. Siebert backhanded into the corner. Newton. Newton takes a hit. Newton around the net looking for an option. Newton. Here's a shot from Keane. Hit the side of the goal. Finley Newton back up the line for Siebert. His shot tipped. It'll go up and over the glass, out of play. Face-off will go to the left of the goaltender, Mason Dix. Cameron Sutherland in there. Matched up with Riley DeBoek. Face-off won by Sutherland. Slapped around the wall by Lavoie. Deflected out to center. Here comes Porcupine the other way, 2-on-1. Sutherland speeding in. His shot just goes wide. Now on the far wall, a hit gets laid by Mares as he tries to grab possession. After it, DeBoek, it'll go down the ice. Not enough for icing. DeBoek in the direction of Schultz there. DeBoek feeds it back up the line. Siebert. Siebert fires a shot, saved by Dix, and he'll hold on for a whistle with Schultz parked in front. Draw will go to the left of Mason Dix here. Barrasso will line up for the face-off for Stratford against Litt. Face-off, won by Litt. It'll go back into the corner. Montrose run into, gets sent around the wall, flipped up to the blue line, bouncing puck held there by Gordon. Hudson Gordon puts it into the corner. Back after it goes White. It'll be played on goal, turned away by Dix. Now taken back by Weir. Weir battles with Goodhue. Around the wall, Montrose. Montrose sends a long pass in the direction of Labranche. It'll be taken back by Hunt. Hunt takes a shot, stopped by Dix, and he'll cover up to get a whistle. Draw will go to the right here of Dix. White against Litt. Face-off won by Litt. Weir back with possession. Weir sends it around the wall. Hodgson blows a tire at the line, goes down awkwardly. It'll be taken back by Litt over the blue line. Litt stops up, looking for an option. Takes a shot, gloved by Thompson, and he'll hold on. A slow start to this second period. Teams having a hard time establishing a flow in the second frame. Off the draw, won by Porcupine. It'll be sent out to center. Here comes Westerhoff racing ahead. He takes the shot. It just misses the net. Back around the boards. Westerhoff gets it in the corner. Michael Westerhoff, sharp angle. That one's stopped by Dix. Here's White. White for Westerhoff. Now back out front for White. A shot. Oh, it rung the post and stayed out. Back after it, Dylan Abel. He takes it from Evan Laue. Abel plays it on the backhand, tries to center. It'll come back now and be played by Morin. Ashton Morin sends a long feed down the ice, no icing. Back after it there is Sardino. Kalen Sardino in the corner. He takes a hit. Sardino trying to work it free. Puck is tied up. It'll be sent back out to center by White. Abel now on it. Abel lost it. Siebert plays it out to center. Siebert tried to sidestep Morin, couldn't do it. Heading the other way, Laue. He's got Morin with him. Laue on goal, pad save Thompson. And the rebound a little bit too hot to handle for Morin. It'll come back into the Stratford end. Here's Siebert. Siebert starts the rush through the neutral zone. Siebert plays it in deep. Back around the wall it goes. Lavoie. Caleb Lavoie plays it out to center. Goes between the legs of Hodgson. In onside comes Johnston. He plays it on goal. Pad save by Thompson. And nobody there for the rebound. Puck is tied up along the far wall. Taken back by Stratford. It'll be flipped down the ice by Keene. And just missed by Montrose. It comes back on goal for Dix. Here's Montrose. Montrose through to center. Janiak sends a pass to Johnston. Johnston rips a shot. It gets stopped by Thompson, and he'll hold on. So after no shots in the first 4 minutes of the period for Porcupine, they've had 4 in the next 3. Draw will go to the right of Thompson here. Griffin Boucher will give way to Jesse Litt for the draw. He'll be matched up against Colin Schultz. Schultz, the leading goal scorer for Stratford in the tournament. He's got 4 markers. The only game he did not score in was their 3rd contest of the tournament, actually against Porcupine. Hunt takes a hit in the corner, looking for it to Boak. Hunt tied up there with Boucher. Schultz sends a pass. It's Hodgson racing ahead. Hodgson plays it through to center, cut off at the line. After it goes Hunt. He loses net guard. It'll be taken back behind the net. Schultz plays it ahead to DeBoek. DeBoek has Siebert streaking forward. It'll be taken back now by Montrose. Fired it on goal by Hodgson. Went through the glove of Dix. It'll come back now. Montrose sends a pass. Banked off the boards all the way down the ice. And that will roll for icing against Porcupine. Face-off will go to the right of Mason Dix here. Schultz will line up for the draw against Litt. Off the face-off, Litt wins it, goes to Boucher. Now it'll be flipped up to the blue line and out to center. Here's Labranche. Joey Labranche over the blue line. Labranche cuts to the slot. Labranche gets knocked out the puck by Siebert. Comes back around the wall. Here's Boucher. Boucher tied up in the corner. Stratford trying to work it free. Schultz goes off the boards out to center. Holloway couldn't come up with it. Mayers is back on it. Mayers goes to Weir. Weir plays it in on goal, turned away by Thompson. Now back on it is Stratford. Sent around the wall by Parsons. Siebert up to Schultz. Schultz through center. Deflected in deep by Goodhue. Josh Goodhue in the corner. Peels away from the pressure. Goodhue around the goal. Looks to center. It'll come back to Gordon. Hudson Gordon. His pass cut there by Mayers. Mayers around the wall. It'll be taken back by Boucher. Boucher out to center. Here's Barassa. Now on it Weir. Weir stick handles. Tries to flip it ahead. It's cut by Goodhue. Goodhue centers deflected by Barassa. In the slot, a shot from Gordon. That one got blocked. It's Boucher back out to center. Now Parsons with it. His backhand hit the skate of the official. Forced back in by Litt. Litt over the blue line. Litt walking in. Shooting. Pad save Thompson. At the line, Weir plays it towards the goal. That one deflected high over the net. After it, Labranche, it'll be taken back by Siebert. Siebert banks it off the boards in the direction there of Goodhue. Now on it is Rimmer. It'll be played off the wall. Joey Labranche with possession. Labranche speeds through center. Penalty coming up on Stratford. Thompson turns it away. Back on it, Labranche. Labranche up to the line for Rimmer. Rimmer back to Labranche. Joey Labranche walks the blue line, sends a pass, cross ice Mayers, deflected out front. It'll be touched up in the slot, and we'll get the call here. Interference, the penalty, and Porcupine will go to its 3rd power play of the game. So the captain, Nathan Siebert, goes to the penalty box for interference. Draw will go to the right of Thompson here. Lots of conversations with the officials right now. There was one earlier after the initial Stratford goal. A couple of discussions with the bench. And now Jason Janiak will head to the penalty box here. Unsure of why, as of this moment. But Janiak going to the box as well, so it appears as though Porcupine will not get the power play that they were anticipating. So a discussion right now at the Porcupine bench as they try to figure out why Janiak was sent to the penalty box. And now Janiak not the only guy going over there. It's Lucas Wright headed to the box as well. So now it'll be a power play for Stratford. So just as it looked like Porcupine was headed to the man advantage, Stratford will go to the power play. We'll wait to hear what the announcements are. Off the face-off, Porcupine controls. It'll be handled down low. A chance on the doorstep, comes up to the blue line. Hunt sends a pass. Schultz takes a shot deflected wide. It'll come back to Hodgson. Hodgson takes a shot, misses the net. 4 minutes for spearing on Janiak. Here's Schultz walking in. That one deflected over the goal. Here's Schultz. Schultz walking in. He makes a move. It gets blocked. Bouncing puck. Chance in the slot. It'll go to the corner. Hodgson. Now White gets hit. It'll come back to the line for Hunt. Kicked up ahead by Morin. He tries to clear. Held at the line by Hunt. It's jammed up near the Stratford bench. And we get a whistle. So Janiak for spearing. 1 minute and 6 seconds left in the second period. Face off, won by Stratford. Comes up to the line. Here's Goodhue. Goodhue takes a shot. It gets blocked. Back after it, Keene. Keene, stick handles, plays it up top for Goodhue. Goodhue back to Keene in the corner. Keene dodges a check, walks in, takes a shot, he scores! It's a power play goal for Stratford. Jordan Keene fired a shot through traffic, and he's got his second of the game. So it's 4-0 Warriors. Jordan Keene finds the back of the net with a marker. Keene will match up with Litt for the face-off here. Off the draw. Won by Stratford, played into the Porcupine end, and they'll set it back. Hodgson gives chase. Johnson tied up in there as well. It'll come back to Keene. Off the boards, Hodgson looks to kick it up ahead. After it, Keene. Keene in the corner. Flipped off the wall, out to center. Newton trying to corral it. Litt plays it in deep. After it is Parsons. Cameron Parsons. Back around the boards. Turned over, here's LaBranche. Takes a shot, it's blocked in front by Parsons. Rebound fired wide by Litt. Now it'll be sent back through to center. Finley Newton. Chips it down the ice. Newton hits Mayers, goes after the puck in the corner, and we get a whistle. So Nathan Siebert out of the penalty box now after his interference call. 2 minutes on the dot since that penalty. And 2 more minutes in the box right now for Porcupine's Chasen Janiak after his 4-minute penalty for spearing. Off the draw, it'll be flipped all the way down the ice. Does it have enough for icing? It does. It's icing against Porcupine, and the face-off will come all the way back. Draw will go to the left here of the goaltender Dix. Face-off won by Stratford. Abel goes around the wall. Will be taken back by Montrose. His clearing attempt blocked, and that shot hits the post off the stick of Dawson White. White back on it into the slot. A shot stopped by Dix. Rebound loose. Dix will cover up as Abel was closing in looking for a chance. Face-off will go to the left here of Dix. Face-off won by Stratford. Here's a shot. That one blocked. Rebound there. Able a chance. Stopped by Dix. It'll come back up the line. Hodgson plays it around the boards. After it, Mayers. Mayers tries to chip it around Westerhoff. It'll come back up to the blue line and out to center. Sutherland couldn't come up with a pass, so that'll be another icing against Porcupine. Face-off will go to the right here of Dix. Litt against Barassa. Draw one by Barassa. Comes back up the line. Siebert a shot deflected. Save Dix. Rebound there. It'll be swiped back up the line. Curtin slaps it around the wall. Barassa giving chase. Mayer's in there as well. Barassa hits him. It'll come to Goodhue. Goodhue takes contact in the corner from Litt. A big hit late on Barassa. Gordon plays it out to the slot, and a penalty coming up here. Roughing the call, and Caden Barassa will go back to the penalty box as Laue was getting into it there with Hudson Gordon. And it looks like Gordon, probably looks like Laue is going to go off. Now Gordon maybe as well. The official pointing towards them. So after all of that, it'll be a Porcupine power play. Laue to the box for roughing. Barassa to the box for roughing. And Gordon to the box for roughing. Off the face-off, controlled by Stratford. It'll be cleared down the ice by Hodgson. Puck will come back down low, be played by Litt. Litt sends a pass up ahead, Boucher. Boucher flips it up ahead to Joey Labranche. Labranche swings back. Porcupine 0 for 2 in the power play. They had a 4-minute power play early in this game. Were unable to capitalize on it. As the puck gets flipped out to center, here's Litt. Litt sends a pass up to Boucher. Boucher over the line, sends a feed in the direction of Labranche. It'll be cut by Siebert and sent down the ice. Litt, below the goal line, sends a pass up ahead to Labranche. Labranche over the blue line, sends it cross ice. That pass cut by Hodgson, and Hodgson will clear it. Back on it, Litt. He sends a feed to Labranche. Now taken back, Hodgson flips it in deep. Labranche gives chase. Joey Labranche off the wall, Sutherland. Cameron Sutherland has possession of the puck. Sutherland makes a move, sidesteps Michael. Sutherland into the offensive zone. Sutherland takes a shot, stopped by Thompson. It'll go around the wall into the corner. Siebert skates it out to center. Siebert chips it past Labranche. Siebert skating in short-handed. Siebert to the goal, a backhander. Turned away by Mason Dix. It'll be fired up ahead by Boucher. Cut, and Schultz will play it in deep. Now on it, Boucher. Boucher swings it back. Skated ahead by Sardino. Kalen Sardino tries a shot. It got blocked. Keane out to center, shorthanded. Keane racing in with Schultz. Keane waits, passes to Schultz. He hit the outside of the post. What a chance there for Stratford. Sardino turns it over. Keane skating after it. It'll be covered up by Dix, and he'll hold on as we return to 5-on-5. So Stratford with a couple of dangerous chances on the penalty kill as we enter the final minute here of the second period. Face-off will go to the right of Dix. Draw one by Stratford. DeBoek up to the line. Hunt a shot, misses the net. It'll come back to Rimmer. Rimmer gets a pass over to right. Now through center, Litt. Litt cut off by Holloway. It'll be sent back by Rimmer off the wall. Now back in Schultz. Schultz sends a pass, speeding into the offensive zone. DeBoek. DeBoek takes a hit there from Rimmer. 30 seconds left in the second period. Laue gets it down the ice. Does it have enough for icing? Not quite. Back on it is Curtin. Curtin from his own end, stepped into by Laue, who lays the body as the puck will roll down the ice, and that'll be icing called against Stratford with 12 seconds left in the period. Draw will go to the right of Thompson here. Off the face-off, won by Stratford. Hodgson sends it around the glass all the way down the ice, and that will be another icing called against the Warriors. It looks like they're going to send Mason Dix to the bench here. So Porcupine will put the extra attacker on the ice for this face-off with 4.4 seconds left in the second period, trying to get on the scoreboard and get some momentum before time expires. It'll squeak out to center. Schultz had the empty net but couldn't get a shot off, and that'll do it for the second frame. So 30 minutes of the books now here in New Hamburg, and 2 goals in each period for the Stratford Warriors. In the second frame, the goals came courtesy of Jordan Keane again, his second of the contest, and Colin Schultz with an absolute beauty of a shot. And it's 4-0 Stratford after 30 minutes of play. Porcupine trying to mount a comeback here as we head to the third period. You're watching the U18 Single A OHF Championships live from New Hamburg on 519 Sports. Back now on 519 Sports. The third period just about to get underway here in the semifinals of the OHF U18 Single A Championships between the Stratford Warriors and the Porcupine Gold Kings. 4-0 Stratford after 2 periods of play. Let's recap the action up to this point. Colin Barassa opened the scoring for the Caden Barassa, opened the scoring for the Stratford Warriors. Came out of the penalty box, wrapped it around the net, and was able to beat Mason Dix to make it 1-0 Warriors. Not long after that, it was Jordan Keane finding a rebound in the crease and burying it to make it a 2-0 contest. In the second period, Colin Schultz found the back of the net very early on with a great shot off the rush. And then Jordan Keane got his second of the game on the power play at the 10:04 mark of the second period. Schultz against Morin for the face-off. Schultz wins it. It'll come back to Curtin. He'll play it up ahead for Holloway. Schultz tries to regain possession of the puck. Griffin Boucher looks to get through center. Now Morin over the blue line. He loses possession. Back after it, Siebert in the corner. Siebert off the wall. Comes back out to center. Fired in deep by Sam Rimmer. Now Boucher. Boucher skates into the shot. Pad save made by Colton Thompson. Off the wall, it'll be sent out to center by Schultz. He skates in with DeBowick, 2-on-1. Schultz makes the move, tries to cut to the net, was knocked off the puck. Schultz in behind the goal, tries a Michigan, flipped it out front. Nobody was there to bat it home. Nearly pulled off the Trevor Zegras, Sonny Milano move. That shot blocked by Montrose. Montrose over to Boucher. Boucher over the blue line. Boucher makes a move, sidesteps the pressure. It'll be deflected down low after it Barassa. Barassa and Janiak have a run in. A hit gets laid along the near side. It'll be flipped back up to Rimmer. Now out to center. Montrose sends it back in deep. Thompson now for Curtin. It'll come back out to center. Here comes Goodhue. Goodhue skating in. Goodhue dodged one hip check, couldn't dodge the next, and loses the puck as it'll be covered up by Mason Dix, who will get a whistle. Just over a minute into this third period, Stratford with a couple of good chances. Colin Schultz tried the Dishigan. I believe that's what they call it, when you pull off the Michigan or try to and then flip it forward, but nobody was there to jam it home. Puck comes up to the line. Hodgson sends it back in. Goodhue looking for it. Not the first time Schultz has tried the Michigan in this tournament. Yesterday he tried to pull off the Michigan, was just unsuccessful in the attempt. Barassa back after it. Caden Barassa sends it around the wall. It'll be taken back by Blake Hodgson. Hodgson off the boards. Now out to center. Lavoie tries to play it in deep. Here's Hodgson. Off the wall, cut by Mayers. Mayers projects it into the Stratford end. Hunt, cut off there by Laue. Laue throws it down low. Mayers couldn't get a shot. Here's Labroche. Oh, he rung the post. Joey Labroche, what a shot, but it hit the iron. Lavoie misses the net. Labroche back on it. Labroche sends a pass. It'll get cut there by Goodhue. Goodhue fires it in deep and takes a massive hit by the Porcupine bench. Lavoie throws it in off the end boards. Hodgson tries to poke it by. Hodgson off the wall. Micah Westerhoff with it. Westerhoff for White. Dawson White chips it out to center. Gets cut off. It'll come back to Hunt. Now on it LaBranche. LaBranche stays onside. Rips a shot. Stopped by Thompson. Had a hard time with the rebound, but he's able to cover up and get a whistle as Hunt gets into it there with Spencer Johnson, who gave him a whack. Draw will go to the right of Thompson here. Sutherland will slide in to match up with White. The officials delivering a message to both teams right now. My guess is that they don't want this game to get out of hand and get chippy late in the contest. They swung by both benches and spoke to both coaches. We're now set to resume. Sutherland against White. Face off, won by Sutherland. Comes back up to Montrose, takes a shot, gloved by White. White skates it out to center, 3-on-2. He'll play it in deep. After it goes Westerhoff. Westerhoff in the corner. Takes a hit from Weir. Looking for it there, White. Weir lays the body on him. Now Sutherland tries to grab it. Sutherland battles for possession of the puck. Cameron Sutherland banks it off the boards. Now played through center by Montrose. Out to neutral ice. A penalty coming up here to Porcupine, I should say. Montrose after it. He'll touch up and we'll get the whistle. Charging the call. And it'll be Johnston heading to the penalty box. So Spencer Johnston to the box for charging. And Stratford to the power play. They're 1-for-1 in this game. Off the face-off, controlled by Porcupine. Mayers plays it back to Rimmer. Sam Rimmer off the wall, cut by Hodgson. Hodgson throws it around the boards. After it to Boak. Now here is White. Dawson White plays it back up top. Schultz walking in, cross-ice pass. Hodgson couldn't get the one-timer off. It's Boucher. Boucher fires it through center. Morin skating in short-handed. Couldn't get a shot away. He was held up. And there'll be a penalty on the Warriors here. As Ashton Morin skated in a breakaway, holding the call. Wondered if there would be a penalty shot, but no dice. The refs will talk things over here. It was on a breakaway, or a partial break at least, for Morin. Instead, they're going to send Siebert to the box. So 4-on-4 hockey for 1:28 seconds here. Draw will go to the left of Thompson. Off the face-off. Stratford controls, gets it out to center. Here's Hodgson. Hodgson over the blue line. Hodgson bobbles the puck, knocks his man down. After it goes Rimmer. It'll be Michael in the corner. Hit by Rimmer. Rimmer skates ahead. Rimmer sends a pass, Boucher. Now it'll be dumped down the ice. Keane on it. Keane sends a feed. Hodgson a deflection. Back after it, Mayers. Mayers sends a pass cross ice. It'll be flipped down in deep by Rimmer. On it is Hodgson. Hodgson banks it off the boards. Keane down the ice. And that will be icing called against Stratford. 38 seconds left in the 4-on-4. That'll be followed by about 30, it'll be 32 on the dot actually, seconds of power play time for Porcupine. Draw will go to the left of Thompson here. Face off, won by Stratford. It'll be played by Hunt. Hunt at his own end. Sends the pass up to Barassa. Caden Barassa over the blue line. Barassa takes a shot. It gets stopped by Dix, and he'll hold on for a whistle. Barassa lines up with Sutherland for the face-off. Draw one by Sutherland. Banked off the boards there by Lavoie. It'll come back up the line and be held by Gordon. Hudson Gordon stripped of the puck. It's Sutherland out to center. Cameron Sutherland over the blue line. Sutherland makes a move. Sutherland going to the goal. His pass got cut, and Barassa will play it. Barassa takes a hit. Off the boards, Janiak throws it back along the wall. Sutherland trying to hold the line here for Porcupine. A big hit laid by Hunt on Janiak as the puck goes down low. Cameron Parsons with it. Porcupine now in the power play. A long pass, Barassa deflects it. It'll go up and over the glass, out of play. "20 seconds left of the Porcupine power play. Face off will come back towards the Stratford side of the neutral zone. Litt against White. Face off won by White. It'll come back to Hodgson. Hodgson flips it all the way down the ice. First man on it will be White. White in behind the net. Skates it into the corner. He'll swing it back. A hit gets laid. Back on it is Mayers. Mayers sends it to Litt as he takes his man down to the corner. That was Holloway on the receiving end of that hit. Litt plays it off the boards. Labranche. Labranche looking for Weir. Now over the blue line, Mayers. Mayers takes a shot, patted away by Thompson. Back at 5-on-5. Stratford plays it down the ice. Holloway didn't get to it, and that'll go for icing. .8:57 to go in this third period. 4-0 Stratford. 2 goals in the first, 2 goals in the second for the Warriors. Litt will match up for the faceoff with Keane. Draw one by Litt. Comes back to the line, Rimmer. Rimmer makes a move. Rimmer tries to take a shot. It gets blocked. It'll be swept out to the neutral zone by Finley Newton. Played through to center by Montrose. Now onto the stick of Keane. Jordan Keane sends a pass. It gets cut by Litt. Back on it, Keane. He'll go to Hodgson. Blake Hodgson fires a feed that gets deflected. Back on it, Keane. Keane takes a big hit. It'll come back to Hodgson. Hodgson fires it along the wall. On it, Newton. Newton in the corner. He's stripped of the puck. It'll come back to Morin. He'll flip it out to center. Now on it, Labranche. Labranche tries to play it in deep. Michael takes a hit. It'll come back to Joey Labranche over the blue line. Labranche makes a couple of moves. Labranche to the goal! Stopped by Thompson. Great save by the Stratford netminder. Hunt gets it out to center. It'll be forced back in by Porcupine. Hodgson throws it up the wall. Michael, a deflection. It'll be taken back now and played through to center by Sam Rimmer. Onto the stick of Evan Lawe. His shot stopped by Colton Thompson, and he will hold on. Shots 32-19 now for Stratford. They've evened up a little bit after initially being heavily tilted in the favor of the Warriors. Draw will go to the right of Thompson here. Face off won by Porcupine. Mayers around the boards. Giving chase in the corner, Kalen Sardino. Sardino ties it up. Westerhoff plays it loose. Johnston trying to grab it. Siebert sends it out to center. It'll be touched up by Mayers. Now Morin. After it, Westerhoff. Westerhoff stripped by Morin. Morin tries to sidestep White. Westerhoff takes a hit. It'll be forced out to center. Here's Siebert skating in. Siebert, a nice move. Siebert trying to cut to the net. He's kept away by Carter Mayers. Back off the board, Sardino. Sardino loses the puck. Barassa after it. Mayers takes a hit. Mayers tries to clear, knocked down by Gordon. It'll be played back in by Parsons. Now Westerhoff gets it over the line. Gordon tries to center a pass for Abel. Abel couldn't find it. 2 players tied up near the Porcupine bench. And an arm goes up for the official here. It'll be a penalty against Stratford. Touched up by Barassa. So after a scrum near the Porcupine bench, holding the call. And the Gold Kings will go to the penalty kill for, the Gold Kings will go to the power play for the 5th time in this game. Hudson Gordon in the box for holding. Draw will go to the left of Thompson here. Morin lines up for the face-off. It'll be won by Stratford, held at the line by Litt. Litt goes to Sutherland. Sutherland facing pressure from Barassa. Barassa able to get it down the ice. On it now, Litt. Litt in his own end. Litt sends a pass to Sutherland. Sutherland goes cross ice. Labranche over the blue line. Plays it back around the wall. Sutherland waiting back for it. He'll shovel it off the boards. to Morin. Now it'll come back to Sutherland. Up top of the line, Lit, cross ice pass. Labranche walking in, shooting. That one blocked in front by Curtin, and it'll be covered up by Thompson, who will get a whistle. Couple of whacks being given down low. After that whistle, face-off will go to the left of Thompson. Draw will go to the left here of Thompson. Keane matched up against Morin. He wins the face-off. Lit. Back now to Sutherland. Sutherland walking in, shooting. Blocked in front by Keane. Bouncing puck. It'll come back to Morin. Fakes the shot. Looking for an option. Goes cross ice to Sutherland. Sutherland back up top. Lit. Finds Morin. One-timer. Stopped by Thompson. On it now, Morin. He makes a move. Morin takes a shot. Glove save. Colton Thompson. And he'll hold on to a minute to go in the power play. And the officials swooping in right away, trying to separate things. A penalty coming up here by the looks of things. The back referee pointing at somebody. And Ashton Morin will go to the penalty box. So Morin to the box for roughing, and we'll get 4-on-4 hockey. Face-off will come all the way back to the Porcupine end. 4-on-4 for exactly 1 minute, followed by exactly 1 minute of power play time for Stratford. Sutherland against White here for the face-off. Draw one by Sutherland. Played off the boards, taken back by Boucher. Griffin Boucher up to Cameron Sutherland. Sutherland over the blue line, loses possession of the puck. It'll be taken back by Curtin. Curtin through center. Curtin speeds into the offensive zone, goes around the net. Curtin banks it off the wall to Goodhue. Goodhue up at the line, plays it back to Curtin in the corner. He absorbs some contact from Weir, trying to maintain the puck, rims it around the wall. Here's Mayers. Mayers from his own end. Flips it off the body, it'll get out to Sutherland regardless at center. Sutherland makes a move over the blue line. Sutherland a shot, put it high. It'll come around the wall, Goodhue trying to grab it. Fired off the glass and down the ice there by White. It's got enough for icing, and it will be icing called against Stratford. So 13 seconds left in the 4-on-4 before Stratford goes to the power play. The face-off will go to the left here of Thompson. Draw one by Porcupine. Comes up the line, a shot. That one stopped by Thompson, and he'll hold on. Face-off, won by Stratford. It'll come back now to Parsons. Parsons, backhand pass to Michael. Taden Michael sends a feed to Keane. Keane over the blue line. Back at now on the power play are the Stratford Warriors as the puck comes around the wall. It'll come back now into the neutral zone for Blake Hodgson. Hodgson slows play down on his own end. He'll drop it back. Parsons. Parsons skates through center. Up the ice for Westerhoff. Westerhoff stops up, smothered immediately. He's taken down. After it, Keane. Keane makes a move. It'll come to the slot. Westerhoff a pass! A one-timer turned away by Mason Dix. Had a great chance there for Taden Michael. Face-off will go to the right of Dix here. White matched up for the draw with Boucher. Off the face-off, a quick shot, stopped by Dix, rebound loose, and he'll cover up. Great pressure off the draw from Hudson Gordon. Just couldn't quite bury it. Face-off won by Stratford. Comes up to the line for Goodhue. Goodhue walks the blue, takes a shot, flash of the leather from Mason Dix. 6 seconds left in the Stratford power play with 3:46 to go in the third period. Off the face-off, Porcupine the win. Banked off the wall. Skating it out to center is Boucher. Boucher gets cut. Gordon on it, sends a pass. Here's a chance. Oh, Newton rung the post. What an opportunity there for Finley Newton, but he hit the iron. Back at 5-on-5. Puck comes all the way to Boucher. Now on it, Goodhue. Goodhue, a backhand feed out to the neutral zone. Lavoie sends it in. Back after it there, Curtin. Over the blue line, a hit, looking for it, Newton. Gordon taken down a couple of times. That's going to be a penalty. And back to the power play will go Stratford. So heading to the box here is Carter Mares for tripping. At the 11:45 mark of the third. And now Mares is going to be sent to the dressing room here. So the day is done for the Porcupine captain, Carter Mares, who will go to the room, and somebody else will have to serve the penalty here for the Gold Kings. Face-off will go to the right of Dix here. Heading to the box is Kalen Sardino. Off the face-off, it'll come back to the blue line. Parsons trying to dump it in. A quick shot, that one stopped. Loose in the crease, Dix trying to find it. He dives onto it, no goal, they say. The officials waving that off right away, ruling no goal on the sequence. As the net was knocked loose, Dix tried to find it in the crease, couldn't quite do it. Face-off will go to the left of Dix here. Off the face-off, won by Stratford, comes up the line. Nice move made there by Goodhue, towards the net, deflected. Dix dives on top of it, and he'll hold on. Draw will go to the left of the Porcupine goaltender. Face-off, won by Stratford. Michael in the corner, facing pressure. Knocked loose there by Montrose. Comes off the boards, into the slot. Keane a shot. That one blocked. Michael back after it in the corner. Slapped around the boards and down the ice. Minute 20 left of the Stratford power play. Goodhue plays it ahead for the Warriors. Goodhue over the blue line. Goodhue gets around a check. Goodhue, sharp angle. Stopped by Dix, and he'll hold on and get a whistle. A minute left in the power play now. 2:16 remains in regulation. 4-0 Stratford. They are looking to secure their berth in the OHF U18 Single A final. And a timeout called here by Porcupine. 2:16 left in this one. A minute left in their penalty kill, down by 4. A timeout called by head coach Scott Cooper. And he will discuss a plan of attack for the remainder of the penalty kill and the remainder of this game. Shots are 39-21 in favor of Stratford. As the timeout ends, the draw will come back into the Porcupine zone. Face off to the right of Dix. White will match up for the draw with Morin here. Face off won by Morin. It'll be flipped down the ice by Sutherland. Out of the crease, Thompson. He'll leave for Curtin. A big hit laid down. Thompson getting into it. Thompson and Janiak in the crease. A collision in the crease. And Thompson wasn't happy. Janiak ran into him in the goal mouth. And things are getting ugly down the stretch here in the semifinal. So the goaltender for Stratford, Thompson, got hit in the crease. And things are getting nasty here. Especially around our area here as the officials try to sort out the penalties. So the officials trying to sort things out here as the fans starting to get into it here in the crowd. Apologies for the distractions and any language you may hear around us. Some frustration as Thompson took a hit. .206 remains in regulation. And things are getting nasty here at the Wilmot Rec Complex. Not only on the ice, but in the crowd. Reminder that abuse of any stakeholder in this tournament is not tolerated, whether it's in the chat online or here in the crowd. All fans, players, officials must be respected. So into the crease now for Stratford is Henry Tour. Tour comes in between the pipes here for Stratford. They're going to send Thompson to the bench. Tour now in the crease. A strange collision there down low as Janiak and Thompson collided. There will be a major called on Janiak, who went in the direction of the goaltender as opposed to trying to get around him. Face-off will go to the right of Mason Dix here. Newton will take the draw. He'll be matched up with Laue. Draw one by Laue, but in there Westerhoff, a backhand shot, stopped by Dix. Quick shot, Westerhoff again. Dix makes the save. It'll be rimmed around the wall. Now on it, Goodhue. Goodhue. In behind Tour, the netminder. Goodhue will slow play down and just kill some clock in behind his own net. Goodhue starts the rush up ice. He'll swing it back now, Tate and Michael. Michael sends a feed, they exchange passes down low, Michael and Parsons. A minute 20 left in regulation. Parsons drops it back for Michael. Michael up to Goodhue. Goodhue fires it cross ice for Parsons. Laue into pressure. Michael. Goodhue. Correction, Parsons with it. Parsons drops it back to Tate and Michael. Last minute of regulation here. Stratford content to hold it just behind their net. Newton drops it back to Michael. Good pressure from Laue. Michael. Stick handles. Michael sends a pass. Parsons drops it back to him. Michael slows play down. Tour comes out of the crease to get a touch. "20 seconds left on the clock here. Both teams content just to drain them. "10 seconds remaining now in the third period. 5 on the clock. And the Stratford Warriors are going to play for an OHF U18 Single A championship this afternoon here in New Hamburg. A great effort all throughout by Stratford. They dominated the game from the jump, really, and never looked back. They come away with a 4-0 victory, and they will play for a title today at 3 o'clock. Stratford wins this game 4-0. An eventful one, to say the least, especially down the stretch. The teams will line up for the player of the game presentations, but Stratford comes away with a 4-0 win. They will play for the championship today against the winner of St. Thomas and New Hamburg. As we wait to see who the players of the game will be, it's a second consecutive shutout for Stratford. This one combined between Thompson and Tour. Mason Dix was stellar in goal once again for Porcupine. Had to face a lot of shots. Made some big saves. So they'll present the players of the game and then immediately flood the ice for the next semifinal. The player of the game is Griffin Boucher for Porcupine. Boucher had a very solid game, contributed offensively. Got major minutes on the power play. With 2 goals today, Jordan Keane is the player of the game for the Stratford Warriors. A very solid performance for Keane. A pair of goals, had the second marker for Stratford and their 4th goal as well. So Keane, a well-deserved player of the game recipient. Porcupine season comes to an end. A great performance in the tournament. Good work by them. Their tournament MVP is Mason Dix, their goaltender. Dix was stellar throughout the weekend, had a couple of big wins for them, including a victory over St. Thomas yesterday morning and a big upset. So Dix is the tournament MVP for the Gold Kings, and that will do it for their weekend here in New Hamburg. Stratford picks up a 4-0 shutout victory. They will play for the championship today at 3 o'clock. Let's recap the action here in this one. The scoring was opened in the first period by Caden Barassa. Came out of the penalty box, took a shot, got stopped by Dix, then he wrapped it around and tucked it home on the backhand to make it 1-0 Stratford. Jordan Keene then found the back of the net not long after that to make it 2-0 for the Warriors after one. In the second period, it was Colin Schultz very early on ripping a great shot from the blue line on a 2-on-1 rush to make it 3-0 Stratford, and then Keene found the back of the net for his second of the game to make it 4-0 for the Warriors, and they will play for the championship later today as Stratford will take on the winner of St. Thomas and New Hamburg. That game still to come in about 10 to 15 minutes time. We'll have it for you here on 519 Sports. For Devin Young, Brandon Bax, and Darren Stevenson, my name is Dylan Baker. Thank you so much for watching the U18 Single A OHF Championship semifinal on 519 Sports.